Hello, friends of the sky. Welcome, patriots from all over the world and soldiers from Trump to return to this battlefield of Fanghan for 9 days. Welcome, patriots from all over the world, wearing powder and warriors of all kinds of light. We have a meeting on our Stop Creation platform. Today is 2025. April 19th. Today is Saturday, and it is also our Shengzhou. Well, the holy state where Christ Jesus returned, this one will arrive soon, and our Easter is also Easter. Yesterday was this Holy Friday. Tomorrow is the Compound Festival. This whole week of ours was created, and the President designated it as Holy Week. Holy Day, the true light of returning to Christ Jesus is returning. In this darkness that has persisted for so long. In the course of human history, the light of God and the light of Christ Jesus are returning to the whole world, especially in Europe and the West, especially in many, many places where chicken shells have been for so long, such as the worst, darkest, and most miserable Britain. Finally, I saw this resurrection in the book of Christ. People's desire for God, this desire that they have never experienced before, this desire to be cleansed all the way, this desire that they have never felt before, the call for God, the call for this sunshine, rain and dew, this earth. The sun has been blocked for too long, too long. So this is a sacred day for us, and this weekend is also a sacred day for us. First, let's push out many of our officials and civilian soldiers who were pushed out yesterday. Those who arrive at the first time quit first. First of all, welcome all kinds of old and new friends from the domestic wall. Hello, everyone, and look at our friends in this international battlefield. Brother Hao was the first to rush up. Thank you, Wenyi. It's easy, but it's not easy. This is either late at night or something. At this time in Taiwan province, in the middle of the night, he can always rush. Actually, I feel quite guilty. I always have to wake it up. I told him not to use this. You don't have to be woken up. You don't have to go to bed first and watch it the next day. So thank you. This firm support of literature and art for so many years, as well as this powerful and beautiful energy from the Netherlands, from the United States, and the Soviet Union from Taiwan province, this powerful greeting. Liu Shumei is also Chen Qujin from the United States, and this is also from Taiwan province. These are all veterans. There should be another Wen below. I saw it, but I couldn't photograph it. It was photographed last night. In case of precaution, so today the adaptation has indeed disappeared. And the next thing is brick-naping. Thank you, Yongshan. This is also this greeting wish from Taiwan province, and the greeting of our retired Lao Jun's team. Thank you. My sister's greetings from Hong Kong, but this is Wen Yang from Taiwan province, and Huamen Sheep from Taiwan province. Thank you, all kinds of old and new friends. Put this first. We'll feel greetings to everyone, send praises. No, it's really this volume from Jesus. To this darkness, this light, this strengthening, this moisture, it genuinely makes Europeans come from all the Europeans who govern the country by Christ. How long have you been longing for it? The real thing is craving. The real thing is to know the preciousness of this liver and liver collar, know this bitterness, this bitterness, this bitterness. It was originally the kingdom of Christ Jesus, but now it has been completely invaded, completely occupied, and completely defeated by this foreign enemy. The grasshoppers that were crushed by this darkness were all swallowed up by this crow. and the entire land of Europe was filled with a kind of black and grey air. It had fallen down, and it had been swallowed by. Your home and country are gone. This home and country are already in this precarious situation. It is even gone, and many of them have even been subverted. There are even many girls who refuse to accept the return of 1 million. This girl and many, many women have also been ruined and defiled. People in many countries have already... People can't be in the United States, but throughout the entire land of literature in Europe. It truly is. I can really sense it now. The vitality of Christianity when it was holy, compared with the bloody and sky-filled locusts now, is really a thirst for this ganning, so this time is also human nature, and it is also the strongest kind of our pursuit of divine light in the restoration of the country. In an intense rush, what becomes of God? Christ remains ever present, never forsaken, merely overshadowed by self. This one has withdrawn himself for ages. Behold, you are God. You embody Christ Jesus, constantly discarding yourself. So we have been saying that we should seek inside, not outside, but what about yourself? It's the most precious one. Your very essence unparalleled. The real life that makes dark jealous, the most dark reptiles jealous, is yourself. They do everything to know that it covers your heart, blinds your heart, and covers your heart. I completely cut you off, and I don't know who you are, your body. We have been talking about our body, how precious it is, how precious our flesh is. You don't have this body, you don't have this carrier, you don't have this container. Everything is white, everything is false, no matter what you hold ours. This our energy treasure, even our energy treasure, vibrates at a frequency of 8 million times per second. Irrespective of elevation, an utterly decayed form remains a decayed vessel. You are useless at all. He can't repair you anymore because you are completely late. Your whole cell has been broken and rotten. How can you repair it? So all these histories have been enlightening, and you have been destroying yours, telling you that this life is short, and this corpse is always going to rot. How is your body? How bad is this cheap? But it has been misleading you and inducing you. Don't you know why reptiles rely on human beings to live? Depend on children to be children's flesh and drink children's blood. Only by biting such sacred energy can they survive. Therefore, our body area and our container are the holiest and greatest God, that is yourself Christ, and Jesus is yourself. He has never left you, but you have never cherished you and completely closed yourself. Let's take a look at the data one by one and tell you about our human body. It's 500,000 with 50 trillions. Cell composition. Every cell has a nucleus. Each nucleus contains diadia, and each chain contains electromagnetic electricity and electricity. The programming with memory is not only your memory, but also the programming of the ancestors' universe, as well as the divinity of the sacred, and sacred gods. There is no one in this world, even your whole world, these AIs, who are standing at an old age together, can't compare with the memory of a human being. Ship storage. So our DNA, no, is not just a storage unit. It is a quantum receiver. It can adjust this. It can be... Why is it pranayama to frequencies outside the visible spectrum? It is your thoughts that can trigger the recovery of your body, which is why your intention shapes biology. That's why your dreams permeate the world. From a physical point of view, you are born to talk to God, not through words, but through your resonance. Your pineal sensory lens caters to the true antenna of the host. Your heart is your divine gift, creating the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, 5,000 times stronger than the brain. It's not just an organ at all, your heart, it's not just an organ, it's the real portal. The kingdom of God is in our hearts, and the empire of goodness is in our bodies, this sacred temple of this structure. For example, our 33 bones, these 33 vertebrae, are the password of Jesus 33. The oil in the spine is the sacred secretion. The cross is equal to our spine and our bones, that is, we are ourselves. This will rise regularly. Look at this cross. Resurrection. He is the rising pineal gland from Kun to Rini. This activation of the pineal gland is our heaven, and the brainwave hell is the cycle of this noise trauma that breaks our links and forbids it. It is hell. There is no reason to ever fear God. Instead, realize you embody greatness akin to a fertile land. Hence, many clans emerge, extracting your inner essence and enabling your birth. To submit to an external force? Ultimately, your body is a labyrinthine enigma, underscoring the immense value of life. I've long discussed this connection, your life, your body, to encourage nurturing your own well-being. Good care. How can you give birth? How can you give birth? Where can you give birth? You have to upgrade first of all. At which latitude you are born, you want to become a god, you want to become an angel, and you want to become a light warrior. First of all, you are yourself. First of all, you are the carrier. Your carrier is your holiest and holiest. You have been asking for this, that, and what to ask for your health. To ask. Just raise your body well so that your whole organ can return to its normal function. Your breast removal function is like a child's function, so why do children before the age of 7? They can all have many children, at least before the age of 7, or at least children before the age of 14, and children before the age of 7. They are seeing the outside world and the world at high latitudes so thoroughly and thoroughly. The sequence flows effortlessly. However, this human body, upon entering the world, suffers major contamination from electromagnetic sources. Let our indomitable spirit deceive and lead you astray from your essence, your soul, your thoughts. You are now an absolute entity. How can you accommodate this polluted body container? And how can you reach the high latitude world? So I've been telling everyone over and over again that you don't have anything. This is very simple. Very, very simple. Let your hernia restore your body to its original state. Your level reaches the pinnacle, persistently ascending to a supreme, genuine state of recovery at higher dimensions where decay and foulness flourish, further exacerbating the body's deterioration, thus stifling any ascent. So he is extremely evil, and he has been irrigating you wherever he is, and the one who instills you is a stinky man from us. In this thinking mode of any Chinese, it has been instilled that you are a smelly man from childhood to childhood, and you don't need to recruit this smelly man again. It's always interesting. 10 years later, it will be bluffed into a pile of dirt buckets. This is already a pile of smelly hot. Why do you bother? So these are the extremely evil and extremely evil that has been instilled in you since you were young. An idea of malevolence and wickedness. You possess no destiny or capability to sustain your existence. Where did you get the latitude? So I've been telling everyone that you look at those high things, this profound virtue, you look at his face, you see if he will age, you see if he is not dead, like a person who will age, a person will die, like a person who suspects death. How can you talk about energy? So no matter how simple it is, but this is it. Take a look at the children before the age of 7, the children who have just been born like trees, and the childlike interest of the children before the age of 2 and 3. That truly represents the radiant smile and genuinely divine supreme spirituality. Look at you and look at this blind face, this definition, this smell all over my body. Why don't you possess the destiny to protect yourself? Why don't you have the creativity and virtues to safeguard your physical form, granting yourself such a sacred body with divine grace? You annihilated it, hence our paramount mission is not to merely identify the truth. This truth surpasses the essence of your existence. Awaken your vision, awaken your soul, open the gate to your heart. Embark on the journey of exploration. Thus I continually remark that you stripped yourself bare. Reflect on yourself. Do you embody an angel's nature? Is this the essence of angels? The form of an angel's silhouette is akin to this. You articulate daily, proclaiming yourself as an angel, questioning your nature, the magnitude of my spiritual prowess, the profundity of my dimension. You must observe your beauty. It is the embodiment of your physical fitness. One of the insides from the inside out. One expression of vitality's allure will unveil a certain breath, a form of yang energy, an essence originating from above and rising beyond, termed as energy, recognized as high-frequency resonance, acknowledged as genuine brilliance. Thus, as these occurrences erode your perception of reality, they dismantle your existence, thrusting you into a complete existential void. Everything you possess now must embody authenticity. Come alive, truly recover yourself, the true sacredness, this carrier. The sacredness of this carrier is yourself. You don't need to ask anymore. You can open your portal. Your portal is in your heart, and there are drops of snow in your heart. As much as possible, everyone has talked about it, and you are one. A quantum computing device's memory can traverse to ancestral origins, the cosmos, and the revered clergy. There exists nothing in between. You encompass all, embodying all the immeasurable deities. Christ Jesus truly knows God. But now, you've shut yourself down and are pressing yourself to a low point. Then you have been begging to go outside all the time, begging to use all kinds of you to look at, using all kinds of this collective, that gang, and that old gang to beg others to save you. Someone fell from the sky to save you, so what you really are is yourself. Why do we say thousands of ways? Our platform, what we have been telling everyone is a body, how valuable your life is, and how big a universe is saved by every person, every life. So everyone, especially those contemplating suicide, has deep karma to consider. You killed the entire universe, destroyed the link of the entire universe, and when you really saved the next life, you saved the entire universe and connected this line. The link line in the entire universe, you got through that. The endless path is just a little bit so simple, so simple. So why should everyone cherish themselves well, and repair themselves as much as possible to a primitive state, a beautiful state of life? You are constantly increasing your energy, constantly repairing your own cosmic energy, constantly improving and constantly opening up the channel with ourselves and the universe. So why, when your body is repaired, when you're 5, after the repair, when your stars are shining, when the drop of blood in your heart is enough, the portal of your natural energy can be opened. In this universe, this energy is becoming more and more abundant, especially in this sacred state. What kind of energy can you receive? Can you really wake up and open your heart veins and portal? So when everything is turning in this time and space, then what is your connectable energy, your own repair energy in yourself? So I said, a lot of people just sing, that is, singing this empty slogan is getting used to a kind of emptiness. Oh, how beautiful this is. How beautiful is the stars. It's nothing. If all the cells in your body are dead, you are on the verge of death. You destroyed all your husbands. You are no longer alive. All your cells are gone. They are all dead. Where do you get the energy? As far as the outside energy is concerned, the outside world is beautiful. What does it have to do with you? So what I said was very, very, very straightforward. In the beautiful transformation, we are striding back to a kind of, we haven't had a good life in this human history. And what does this have to do with you? If you were, your husband would be completely dead. Your husband has collapsed and your cells have died. Those have nothing to do with you. The only thing that matters is to save yourself. That is, to return this life to it. That is, to fix your body first. It's best to fix it step by step. Then, if you, a stinky man, is not important, I want to ask everyone, if this stinky man is as the Communist Party told you, as Buddhism has told you, Taoism over the years. Taoism didn't tell you that. This Taoism has always been true. It's really this life. I won't tell you that. What is this called? What about the nursery culture that this Confucianism told you, that Confucian culture? These ideas that these cultures told you. This smelly fart bag didn't work. So why did they poison you from the moment you were born? Because your food is poisonous. You shouldn't eat rice and noodles at all. Why rice noodles? Highly poisonous, especially rice, is raw in it. Why do you always have to poison you? Why is it fake inside all of this? Why are you sprayed with poison in the air? You are sprayed with poison in the water. Everything about your diet is fake. Why is your body not so important? Why did he try his best to let you die and make your life shrink? Originally human beings, he can be endless. In 2 years, one's own cells may be repaired and automatically repaired once. So why would they die if they were a cell that continuously repaired automatically? You shouldn't die. You are constantly repairing, constantly repeating, and life is infinite. So why should you prevent your cells from constantly repairing this great energy? It's impossible for you to live to 200 years old, and it's impossible for you to die more and more painfully in this kind of pain. Recently, I showed you that we are here. In the past week, you have seen too many true truths we have told from my channel, which have been verified by different channels. Everything we have told in the past is called all the poisons in the air. The Communist Party has used all the poisons tested on Chinese people for N years, and now they are used in the United States and all over the world. Now this idea is no longer that. Not a stranger anymore. You have to prove that you are cooperating with the Communist Party of China, CPC, in the Western sky. Especially in Europe this year, the sun has been covered. It is indeed a very successful year in places like Britain. It wasn't until these 2 days that there might be no American money that the sky suddenly became difficult. So this signal is no longer what we have been talking about. Then, including the air as poisoning water, including the 9/11 mentioned, this case brushes everything we have said and constantly verifies everything we have said from various channels. So I'll show you the different channels, and all the verification is everything we have said. Now more and more people are looking squarely at what we say is in the air. The poison sprayed into it. What a player this is. Let's cooperate with the Communist Party of China, CPC, to spray these poisons all over the world. There are N kinds of chemicals. Heavy metals possess unique characteristics, especially lately. China, Chinese mainland. The nationwide yellow sand is pervasive, and these nationwide yellow sand is pervasive, which makes many people's throats bleed directly. They sprayed these poisons. In this video, when you go back and watch it, I won't transfer the information of those videos again. It's not just me anymore. As I said, the publication of documents in the United States, the poison sprayed by the Communist Party, sprayed by you, destroys your nerves and destroys your nervous system. Your nervous system suppresses this control of your emotions, anger and happiness. We now understand that the poison they discharge is recognizable by the label cancer nano. Nanoparticles are sprayed in the air on a large scale with cancer nanoacrylic. Numerous individuals, an immense number. Symptoms include chills, fever, persistent cough, severe headaches and depression. A wide variety of cancer lesions. Extensive cancerous developments and intense bleeding are observed. It is not merely about threatening you, it transcends my usual discourse, affecting multiple facets. The little bit of affection is radish. Kennedy's speech at the American Museum yesterday was shown frequently on my channels, admitting his autism. Among these autistic children, 12 people think about 12 children, and 1 out of 12 boys has these autistic children. The reason is the environment, climate and environment. It will be announced in the next 2 weeks, and it will be announced to this American people. It's no longer such a shocking worldly world as I said. What we said, I've been telling you what I said. What we said is just a little bit. Really, in this evil, every bit is just a little bit of evil. The poison you planted, poisoned, and were poisoned by has surpassed everyone's understanding, including mine. It's like Mr. Dung Lang. It surpasses everyone. It was unexpected. Unexpectedly, it's all more than they knew. Yes, you suddenly feel dizzy, suddenly have a fever, and suddenly this is so sulfur in the air, so deep in the air. It's direct and devastating, so it makes you and cancer lesions on a large scale. What is that? What is this cancer? There is no cancer in our Chinese medicine. It is one that destroys you and destroys you. This whole facing system is to block your immune system, and your whole neuroimmune system is to block you. I just wanted to come. We got together and revealed that the Chinese Communist Party is the culprit of these poisonous elements. The final result will make. Oops, it's the shock of the whole world. Only the whole underworld in Europe and America, and the whole government terrorist organization are behind a devil, a real huge devil. Is that devil China Su Wen or the Communist Party of China? So his contribution to this is in the air. Controlling the sky, air, sky, so familiar has already been used in Chinese. Since the Chinese Communist Party invaded the Chinese 1 year after the founding of the People's Republic of China, it has been using these poisonous weapons. How did you know that it was so mysterious? Oh, it's no longer our key here to turn off the lights and tell you about it. The poison in this world, the poison it sprays, it now uses directly cancer nanoparticles. Directly destroy your station system and directly put your body. Your whole system, nervous system is completely destroyed. And then this is what I said, it's no longer our relationship. But now the United States is reporting, including the Minister of Health, this. Kenny of Luoge reported it for the first time, and he will be able to announce it to you in the next 2 weeks. What did they spray in the air? How could it cause autism? So if you want to know this information, go back and look at this information in my channel. Then the following. Yes, I also remind everyone that my live broadcast, it will be transferred to the Voice of Phoenix again, so everyone should pay attention to the Voice of Phoenix when ordering my Voice of Phoenix. For Phoenix 9 Days Rich Father channel and Rich Women channel, I will broadcast live here completely. I have to jump, and I have to talk about it again, because I have almost a few channels now, and almost a few channels have been restored. Chiliguai is the only one for me. In the environmental era, this channel was originally a channel in the Golden Age, but it couldn't pass the censorship, and it couldn't pass the idle door. This oil pipe smashed the evil door, but it just wouldn't let me pass. Why is he so afraid of this channel in this Golden Age? So the concrete truth will shock the whole world. And what kind of communist bandits are they? These evil sins are great evil, and these evil thieves, he is the whole ferocity of them. And they are behind the most ferocity in the world. The master behind has no this world, no one this. Fantasy controls the whole of Europe. How does any bad thing done by any terrorist who kills the whole world? It's not that they have nothing to do with him, but all the Communist Party. They're all communists. So now what was yesterday? Yesterday was the new coronavirus. The White House and the State Department of the United States began to release the truth about the new coronavirus. The new coronavirus leaked from the Wuhan laboratory of the Chinese Communist Party was released, and the truth began to be released. The United States started to do this, and the Trump administration of the US government has long known these truths and has never had food. These things, it can't be put casually, it's all put in real time. This one has also been released, and take a look. The water we talked about before, water, where will it be ferocious next? Who will he treat, and how will he treat the water? Now he has already poisoned you directly. Then maybe the next water committee member said, maybe one day you might drink water and die directly, but now there is no water. It has already happened in America, and you have no water to drink?
This is time for water pressure.
In Egypt.
This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill out, flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet. Yeah.
And this is...
What's in all pipes?
Just the wheel itself is probably 20,000, and that's not counting into
The fixtures and positive and toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against. This impenetrable huge wall renders you powerless, and they show complete indifference.
I am here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. Facilities like this is being used to power things like chat, GBT, and other AI tools that is being integrated into our daily life. Data center is gonna
be a very hot
item.
This entire supercomputer is
constructed to harness the power of rock. Data centers are perceived as the most thrilling asset class.
That is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large IT would cover a significant part of Manhattan.
But data centers come with big costs. From light and noise pollution to the environmental impacts to the potential rising costs of energy bills. These facilities put extraordinary demand on the power grid and require entirely new infrastructure.
oh my god.
They should be responsible for that, not US.
Search the internet for profits that Meta has made Amazon, Microsoft. They can afford to pay for their own generation. We
Came to Georgia to ask 2 questions. What's the true cost of the AI revolution and who should be paying for it? Your house is here and the data center's right there.
It's less than 400 yards.
Beverly and Jeff Morris bought their home an hour's drive from downtown Atlanta in 2016, but their roots in the community run much deeper.
Being in the country has always just been my peace and my therapy. When we found this place, we decided that this was IT. It was perfect.
I was actually raised probably 5 miles from here.
In other words, we are referring to Mark Zuckerberg. Recently, a large data center was built for this matter in Georgia. Now that Zuckerberg completely cooperated with the Communist Party and betrayed into this American, he built a large data center for this matter in Georgia. There are residential water hundreds of yards away. There is no more water pressure in residential traffic. Their sinks no longer supply water, their toilets have no water, and their prevention shakes because of the constant construction. The data center consumes a lot of power, and power outages often occur. The small amount of water you get when you go home is filled with this little bit of gratitude, which is really unbearable, because you really feel that you have hit an impenetrable huge wall. You can't do anything, but the concern isn't there. What is happening now is strange, because after Zuckerberg set up a huge data center for it in Georgia, the residents of these houses outside Subaima actually ran out of water. Cut off water for you. Only you know what evil is, and you can't even imagine Zuckerberg completely cooperates with the Communist Party. Then, in the hearing, knowing what has been reported, what is his? We won't talk about it anymore. We have already talked about it in the last live broadcast and the video. Unimaginably, this colossal water poisoning directly contaminated your drinking water. Originally, the poisoning was direct. And even in the face of poisoning, you are spared from immediate death. Although water has been curtailed, leaving just a minimal amount. This gratitude comes with realizing the extent of his poison and the malevolence's vicious nature. There is still more survival at all. This begs the question, why does the CCP, even when allocating 91% of tax revenue, along with 91% as income tax to its citizens, insist? Although it doesn't spend a penny of taxpayers' money to the Chinese people, it still adds new money every year. Ouch, then I was wrong. I remember it was $45 trillion. I just want to say that it is a new debt of $54 trillion. A new debt of $54 trillion is a new increase. It is called a new increase. It is called a new increase every year. What is the fundamental motive? It relates to politicians, underworld terrorists, and Muslims globally still requiring it. Surrounded, but also maintaining all kinds of cyber hooligans, cyber thugs, and Chinese Communist Party members lurking at home and abroad. Then last time I said the number of Chinese Communist Party members in Japan. 3 million. Without our comrades in Taiwan province, he guessed that tens of millions, 3 million is 3 million. And the number of Japanese Communist Party of China, CPC members, is 3 million. The disparity between the number of Chinese women and men is attributed to the CCP sending numerous women worldwide for intimate engagements, like the mainland brides in Taiwan province being second, family planning, Isn't this scary? So I thought this, what I think is really, you truly define terror. But take a look at him operating in the United States. These events are attributed to warm air, sudden accidents or mishaps, or could be because he has set up a massive data center with Zuckerberg. Consider the countless possibilities this huge data center could offer you. How much impact can it have on you? How much influence is it? Let's commence with the White House in the United States. The facts concerning the new coronavirus were disclosed. He cannot manage all these tasks and steps in a haphazard manner. It can be disclosed at this point in time. When and what exactly? This is the situation. They possess extreme malevolence. The reality of their malicious actions that led to their demise, subsequently the released message is, the most fundamental and simple point is the White House of the United States. This one was just changed yesterday. There, this simple one is outlined. It was released on the official website of the White House. Provide details on how the new coronavirus originated from the Chinese laboratory. Also intervened in the blessing period. The act of smoking up everything. So President Chen is right about everything about the Chinese virus again. The president of China's virus creation has always said that for the sake of respecting the Chinese people, I won't say it now. This Chinese virus should be called the Chinese Communist virus. So this Chinese Communist virus is the Communist Party. strangle the whole world. To destroy mankind by the heinous crimes committed by the whole world. The war crime initiated by this man against humanity, the crime of annihilating mankind, the sin, let tens of millions of people in America to succumb to this new coronavirus. Subsequently, let the whole world cultivate over a percentage more of smaller plants, with few people combating them, leading to the eventual demise of all nations, similar to Japan. More than 90% of the people fell down. At the time of the test, the virus in the biological weapons laboratory, including your Taiwan province, was also hit by what percentage? At least 90% of people. Individuals globally, surpassing 7 billion people, have fallen. Destroy mankind. Destroy mankind. How many years have left the whole world in a state of blockade? What is this Sinke Kuoshi, the communist of the Communist Party? I just want to say that the real population of China now is 798,098 billion wen. This is the latest and more accurate population figure, which is about 8 meters. 78.1 million, 798.1 million. Then 1.4 billion Chinese people now say they have been killed, and this has reached 800 million. The so-called 1.4 billion, then stop talking about it. It's like saying that everyone has gone to guess. Why can't they just provide population to the whole world? Organ fire, organ this, organ and sex slave. Isn't that how it works? So this is what Zhu Xiang said. The current real population is 798.1 million, which is about 800 million, 798 million. This is the latest and relatively accurate population figure. Then these about 8 months, he only has about 30 million, this labor force, about 30 million labor force, to feed this massive old teenager population. The huge layers of this machine of the Communist Party. Only 30 million labor force in Nanyang. Besides the huge machine of the Communist Party, there are these corrupt elements from the whole world. Terrorists. Delicious, these locusts in Langzhou. This is the Chinese population. It's really unfortunate for the Chinese. Now this COVID-19. It was sent out yesterday and announced yesterday. This is the real CCP virus. The real CCP uses this new coronavirus to destroy the global population. The hardest? Gain global control through this World Health Organization. A single party dominates the entire globe. It's called controlling the world's population, the world's governments. Unified command, unified one-party command is to use this World Health Organization. The whole world has joined the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization issued an order on the 8th, and the whole world has been closed for many years. Everyone has thought about it, because the number of years closed in each country is different. Some are 3 yuan, some are 4 years, some are 2 years, and some are not closed much. Otherwise, how many years have you been confined in Taiwan? How many years has Japan been isolated? The United States and the United Kingdom are almost a few months old, and they haven't been shut down yet. It's about a year when you don't have to go to work, and everyone can't go to work. It's a year in the UK, but there's basically no closure or blockade. But now it's very centralized, China. There is a price to be paid for this. I'm sharing these with you now. I didn't initiate these actions, but from this Twitter account of the Republican Party of the United States, China must be held accountable for this, and China must be held accountable for COVID-19. Be responsible. The COVID-19 has been long, and you must pay the price for the COVID-19 has been long. The sound has been put out. Just after this picture was released on this Twitter of the Republican Party of the United States, the White House of the United States announced the truth yesterday and immediately after yesterday. The undeniable truth surrounding the initial leak originating from the Wuhan laboratory is precisely that it was leaked from there. Furthermore, claims of complete cover-up by certain individuals, including a duo mentioned, are unfounded and without evidence. His constitutional secret origin comes from this Wuhan laboratory of the Communist Party of China. Can you identify any act that wouldn't fall under terrorism or activities typically associated with terrorists? And released it fentanyl. This is all this lately. In the official website of the United States government. Participating Republicans will hold the CCP accountable is fentanyl. Communist China serves as a critical foundation, enabling the Chinese Communist Party to facilitate monetary transactions with Mexican drug cartels. These transactions form the basis for causing widespread destruction. Hope. Hope is an American. Yeah. Communist China is talking about the Communist Party of China, and China is directly the United States. This message from the Senate Republicans is the message from the Senate Republicans. The premise of the Communist Party of China and the Communist Party of China to provide Mexican drug cartels with mud money is that these premises are used to kill more than... I hope you are indeed an American citizen because you're impacting 70,000 Americans annually with your actions. The intention he has seems unmistakable. If the Senate Common Party declares such a stance, won't it initiate action against you? Isn't it considered a war crime? Therefore, I consistently express my belief in this matter. Let China be responsible. We must seek justice, and we must hold China responsible. So look at what point now, what is said. That is, your CCP doesn't have every inch of your land, and it can't be occupied by the CCP. You can't let the Chinese Communist Party occupy every inch of American land. Look at the voice made by the United States now. Every inch of land can't be occupied by the Communist Party. You take all this territory of the United States. This vast territory surrounds the American military base, extending far beyond its borders. The ranch Germany has been completely acquired. You have inflated the territory of the country where people speak their national language, and you have also sent the army and the 5 million troops, which are the real People's Liberation Army troops, to the United States. You have occupied other people's territory, and you have been killing Americans with fentanyl for many years, not only Americans, but also the largest underworld drug cartel in the world, the largest drug cartel that kills Americans. Then I'll give you this video that we have translated. 2 war correspondents are also very happy to tell you that the details can't be clearer. You have seen them, And now they are all made into this Chinese voice, and you can hear them. This is the beauty of AI. I want to share with you that the most authentic voice of the local reporter reveals that they have ceased saying no behind closed doors at home. And we continue the narrative by stating they disclose everything openly. In this context, don't overlook Mexico's role, as the world knows Mexico for its influential gang groups exhibiting toxic traits. In truth, all factions, even if a gem is perceived to trail others in the party, are aligned with the Communist Party of China. The two war correspondents said, I don't know, just giant. She's standing, you say. Their root, the root of its party founding, is a rogue group. The root of its party founding is the root of a terrorist group. That is, what it did in Nanny Bay is a major tobacco and drug trafficking. It is still drug trafficking and the largest fentanyl in the world. They remain the drug suppliers. Natsuki has been attacking Chinese people in various languages around the world. It is also the CCP. In all kinds of languages and networks all over the world, how many cyber troops have they raised in Japan, South Korea, and all over the world, let alone the United States? Look at those journalists all over the world. What is it? In the hands of the Communist Party of China, CPC, which is uniformly controlled by your Canadian media. He has pinched the media all over the world into his own hands. And don't forget your Chinese voice channel. These propagandists deliberately erase the image of Chinese people. It's all orchestrated by the Communist Party. It's smearing and suppressing. Otherwise, whoever goes out, he can eat fine and continues to badmouth Chinese all day. If it's someone you immigrate overseas normally, do you have time to scold someone? Chinese to themselves, Chinese. Do you have time to spend all day scolding your own pack? It's impossible for all these uniformity to discredit Chinese people. Insult Chinese people, vilify Chinese people. What Chinese aunts go out to grab food, travel to grab food? What pee? Shit, what's too much? All this information is done by the Unified Communist Party of China, so the Communist Party of China. It is the Chinese who completely control the voice channels of the whole world in their own hands, especially those who maliciously poison and suppress their achievements. Now this President Chen gives the communist bandits this. How much has it increased? Tariffs have jumped to 245%. There's an amusing tale here. Is President Chuan talking about actual faith? Upon turning 145, when they become president, oh, Xi Jinping is my good buddy. Because he is my good friend, so I won't increase my tariff, and it will reach 145. The communist bandits are arrogant, Hachihei, and they have to fight to the end. What's wrong? Arrogant Hachihei, let me show you what the Hachihei face of the communist bandits is.
It is the largest trade surplus place in the United States, but the United States still imposes such tariffs on Hong Kong, which is simply arrogant and shameless. This makes the world see more clearly that the United States doesn't see Hong Kong well, and it is the biggest black hand that undermines Hong Kong's human rights, freedom, rule of law, prosperity, and stability. He doesn't want our taxes, but our lives. The United States will contain Hong Kong again and again. The suppression can only lead to the accelerated demise of its agents in Hong Kong and will eventually release itself. Let those villagers in the United States face the 5,000-year-old civilization of the Chinese nation. Why not go lament your name?
Hearing that there is no arrogance of communist bandits, I can't see Hong Kong good. Destroy this, because this American tariff destroys democracy in Hong Kong, and the freedom of the rule of law has become a black hand pulling the United States that undermines democracy, the rule of law, prosperity, and freedom. Simply levy a minor tariff from Hong Kong, leading to a sinister transformation of Hong Kong. This is definitely your deceased hand. Why do you keep scolding? You still berate an American like that. Turtles are equivalent, calling Americans villagers. Remember what the Gu family said about the communist bandits calling the Chinese people in Zhongnanhai? Now? Call Americans villagers. They are all advanced humans. Oops, they are all very advanced. This American is just a hillbilly, and a bumpkin is your high-ranking communist bandit. What does Township Balang tell you about all the hard-working people? All the people who work for him are villagers, and he looks down on you. Only... They are the slave owners. They are the slave owners. All the working people who work for you are villagers. Even Americans he looks down on. Where did you go? So this Hong Kong, you destroyed the whole of Hong Kong, destroyed this democracy in Hong Kong. How to kill and rob, how to destroy democracy in Hong Kong, how to rape these women and girls in Hong Kong, and how to massacre Hong Kong people. Don't you see it clearly and clearly in the whole world? It was the massacre in Hong Kong. If there hadn't been the case of founding President Hong Kong at that time, 5 million Hong Kong people called it back. Now, these hooligans have gradually transformed into the largest destructive force affecting the United States and Hong Kong, essentially becoming American. You put a... Hong Kong has become hell on earth. Presumably, what was the state of Hong Kong's prosperity without your influence? I'm indeed in this existential world. An Oriental pearl, but now Hong Kong people's life is worse than death, and it has turned into hell. Hence, the globe can distinctly identify your black hand and your imposing ferocity. Here we welcome you. Immediately following his statement, President Trump ignited the momentum, subsequently raising the tariff to a staggering 245%, suggesting a potential future leap to 400%, astonishingly within reach. All right then. You are a nation of bandits, and 70% of this 70% rate is indeed true. 70% are export. It's amazing to let the United States digest the American people. Such powerful and rich people have digested 70% of the goods of the Communist Party. You're relying on America. The consensus, therefore, is each Chinese individual receiving 100 yuan, with an astonishing 70 yuan allocated to Americans. Presently, I'm furiously retaliating against the audacious fat man, loudly vocalizing daily, deeply confounded here, prompting the Americans to declare, "Oof, this communist bandit is utterly broke and in utter disarray." Observe the chaos intensifying their fierce demeanor, with your face appearing almost comical. Prior to this video, another surfaced, showcasing the notorious remarks of the old thief Mao Zedong. During the Cultural Revolution, we will fight the national heritage. The spokesman of the State Council of the Chinese Communist Party of the United States. What's the one he's playing called? Can you tell me the name of this woman? Mao Ning. Did Mao Ning wonder if it has something to do with the Mao bone towel? Mao Ning was committed. Mao Gujin questioned how long it would take for them to fight against the United States during 3 years of natural disasters. Allow this Chinese to be beaten and starved to death around 70 to almost 80 million people, which is what I want to say. I don't remember it was sold for about 70,174 million yuan. The 74 million Chinese people don't care. You are the Communist Party. You never cared about releasing the hairy bone gold part. You just let the Chinese people eat grass and let the Chinese people all starve to death. I don't care at all. Well, you guys have gone to perform so that the whole world can see more clearly. You made the Chinese blood flow into rivers of blood, and you couldn't act. Oh, the whole world can see clearly. I will attack the flute, the old thief who sent it out, and the video. I also attack these words. You are hooligans at all. You don't represent the Chinese at all. Your performance in the Cultural Revolution was not very good, and 74 million people starved to death. You are. Who kills all these people? You are criminal organizations that embody illegality, and you operate criminally against humanity. You don't signify that Chinese people are more. I'm indifferent to Chinese people. That video was effectively distributed so the entire world sees it clearly. Is that right? I question, how did the Chinese enslave the Chinese? Look at this second video again. Help Americans call Qingxiangba. America holds 70% of your products every year, and you don't have a trace of good gratitude. It is because the United States demands a little fairness and increases a tariff. You poached Americans into a mafia. To kill the mafia in Hong Kong. Self-taking weak mafia town bala old Americans are not just mafia but town bala. Only this world, only the Communist Party of China, CPC, is the most advanced. The most Western. Yankees, you strive to dominate globally through rigid hierarchies, yet your roots remain humble. Admire and hope for kindness. Upon closer inspection, the mask is lifted, revealing the devil's true identity. Isn't that right? So this American in the United States, people all over the world can see it more clearly, and this American in the United States is... This is what the CCP does. Reporting this Communist Party, what is the Communist Party now? I also want to enslave the Chinese people into the Cultural Revolution. At that time, those common people starved the Chinese people to death and starved 80 million people and then let you starve to death like this. Impossible. What is the Communist Party of China, CPC, now? Now is to break down internally. Listen to what he has to say.
Factory workers down there, people are burning down factories, dozens of factories all over the country because people are fed up. They're not getting paid. China is falling apart from the inside out. They're trying to think.
That space. Yeah, do you think that those internal tensions that they're facing could threaten the regime?
Absolutely. You are going to lose the government. Like, you can't have an unstable base like that. He's fighting a war on the outside and a war
on the inside. Well, don't you think that would incentive to want to make a deal with the United States as fast as possible?
Yeah, you would think that, but that's not how China works. It's all about saving face. They have to preserve that image that China is rock solid, because
if they were open to swallowing their pride and collaborating with the United States, we could establish reciprocal trade agreements that would likely benefit both nations economically.
Would benefit would do.
Better as a consequence, but you say pride stops that, but then on the other side of that pride is the realism of these challenging internal economic dynamics. What do you think give first?
China is a community country first and foremost. You cannot give the people too much power in that situation. The state is holding IT together with an iron fist, and if they start trying to make compromises here and compromises there, that immortal, implacable facade that they have to starts eroding. Hopefully all this sets up a scenario where we can have a fall of the Berlin Wall, a fall of a Great Wall.
Our former senator is tailing along, and American workers involved with the Chinese Communist Party are witnessing a revival among entrepreneurs. This resurgence has sparked a claim that internal instability is brewing within the Chinese Communist Party. There are widespread disruptions occurring throughout China, with laborers taking drastic actions such as setting factories ablaze. At the same time, 12 factories were burned, but the outside didn't know that this information was blocked so severely. So good, the Communist Party is the most powerful that is blocking news. Then this time, this information was revealed by the report of this American entrepreneur in the United States. The entirety of China present day. Too many people couldn't get wages, and workers couldn't get wages, so the factory was burned down. With factories being torched on a large scale, there's notable opposition against the Communist Party within China, leading to internal instability, prompting queries about the situation's validity. The Communist Party should be eager to negotiate with the founding president and the US government to impeach and say that this is the Communist Party. The most important thing for the Communist Party is face. They will not talk about this face, because he also maintains his high-profile face. So that's how it stands currently. This is true. Just like what we said last time, the communist bandits trapped President Sichuan, which angered the Communist Party. The Communist Party is fine now, and it can't be strangled down. It goes directly to you and pushes it to the top. Now it goes directly. If you support the 245 tariff, then you support it, not you are levied. From 145%, all of a sudden this creation president gave you 100%. 245, then you stand up now. Don't talk about it. You must not compromise. If you don't compromise with the Communist Party, you just have face. You are not as good as that face wants. Don't compromise. Keep standing up until 300%. Go, what do you have? A staggering 300% tariff leads to American ambitions aiming for up to 400%. Well, that's an improvement. The burgeoning fiscal pressures suggest your foreign exchange reserves might falter in sustaining this trajectory. The foreign exchange reserves can't support it for 3 months or so. Hey, so what do you say about this now? There is no money outside. The outside is Jiao tu Lange, and the inside is also Jiao tu Lange. These workers who can't afford the money are rioting and burning on a large scale. This common people you do now, unlike the one before who didn't have an information network. In the gentle, kind, and simple era of the Cultural Revolution, those people starved you to death so much, so the Chinese people are now Every year in China, there are many, many riots every year, and many demonstrations are completely blocked by the Communist Party. It is under China's suppression, under such high pressure and cruelty, that Chinese people still have such blood. There's been a riot that never stopped. Now, it's even more common people who haven't eaten or eaten, as this American said. These common people who haven't eaten or eaten will definitely go on a larger scale. Riot against the Communist Party. This is not what is happening now. Once Chinese people have no food, there are too many things without food, many families are destroyed, and their wives and sons are good. Then China, unlike many of our comrades in arms say, my sister doesn't know, we don't know, many places are fine, and everything around us is fine. Of course, the status quo is moved. The Communist Party, some of them are obedient slaves, and some of them block this network information tightly, so that you don't know at all, and you don't know what happened to your friends around you. That is, all the families around you are dead, and he won't let you know. Then take a look at Guangdong province. Just take a look. It's very tightly blocked and strictly. Then these are also. This is rarely revealed. In such a rich place as Guangdong and Guangdong, a large scale of people flow into the streets. Because why one is? Because of this social score. If your social score evaluation is low, you can't do anything, you can't walk, you can't go shopping, you can't get on the bus, and you can't have anything. You can't even leave this range for 15 minutes and become this range for 15 minutes of wisdom. That is, your social rating is not enough. One is this reason, and the other is the large-scale closure of this project. It's called a large-scale bankruptcy, and it has been a large-scale bankruptcy in the past few years. The annual figure of new debt reaches between 45 trillion and 54 trillion yuan. The source of this immense debt, totaling 54 trillion yuan yearly, is a pressing question. If unresolved, it threatens the entire bubble economy in China with collapse. Countless people are facing hunger. It's a huge crowd that can't eat. Do you know what you know? Block this information very, very closely, let alone now. Guangdong is exceptionally prosperous and affluent among Chinese provinces. Please consider asking about Guizhou and Shaanxi, which are very marginalized and significantly poorer regions compared to affluent provinces like Shaanxi. How many people starve to death and live on the streets? Currently, according to Shire, the ongoing CCP initiatives involve drastic measures, like inflicting harm and regulating the sentiments of the Chinese populace. This has been a dominant focus throughout China this past week. Sandstorm prevention. There are yellow dust sticks. The sandstorm with its penetrating yellow particles is viciously taking control of your senses, relentlessly attacking them. It's controlling your emotions. Furthermore, it inflicts widespread devastation across vast terrains, subjecting you to grievous illnesses. What explains the current situation where numerous people now experience uncontrollable bleeding from their throats? It's been years since such a phenomenon has been seen. Previously known ailments like typhoid are resurfacing. So that's what it is. This gathering of dawn is not a sandstorm at all, or it is made by the Chinese Communist Party. This dust is poisonous dust, and this poisonous dust is still nano cancer particles. Many of them are nanoacrylic. It should be called, it is basically nanoacrylic. Why? Now, this child is suddenly very young and large-scale people. That young man died. Large-scale children in China coughed up bleeding, and all the viscera of large-scale young people were destroyed. Oh, I can't eat, and then my stomach is bloated. This bloated, and this can't move. So why is it the same in America now, and why are so many children coughing one by one? They are all unified using the Communist Party of China, CPC, is climate control method. What are climate control? What has become of the modern Chinese populace? They are in a dire situation, suffering immensely. There's an extensive collapse occurring in China. As people face severe food shortages, this crisis has been intensifying. Consequently, the lawlessness and violent actions of his thugs are rampant. Paparazzi, right? Anbao, armed police. Ouch, China's armed police. You clearly have a police, but you have specially created an armed police force to deal with the Chinese. His largest force is to deal with these defenseless people. Middle people. What is this paparazzi doing to you? When you have no money, it's fine now. In the past, you could use the United States to rob the United States. This books and learning channel in the United States was cut off. You can't steal the money from the United States. The blood transfusion pipeline is gone, and China's money can no longer be blown up. What is it called now? Protect. A nostalgic vintage city. Calling the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China to hold an emergency meeting is to protect the stock market. Oh, protect the Chinese people. Once confidence loses confidence, whoever protects your stock market will be unlucky. Look at these old shameless members of the Communist Party of China, CPC, holding an emergency meeting less than 48 hours ago to discuss former diplomatic problems. No one smiles, no beautiful women serve tea. Everyone looks extremely serious and nervous, like participating in praise. Then this is now, look at it. Beautiful women coming to serve tea every few minutes to show off. The communists all know what it is this time. That is their combat power. And they all know that they can't control the United States. Their Ruyi offer was wrong. I didn't expect it because I pretended to come back. I didn't expect the US military to be like this. Yes, well, it's uncontrollable. The US military is like this. The mysterious model of gods, demons, gods, woods, and gods is the real American army. Ha 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 ha. Everyone has the face of a dead corpse, and the real thing is that everyone is in love with a dead corpse. I saw this group of criminal hooligans in the world, the biggest underworld fire, and now I have really seen it for 40 years. Oh, I'm so happy to see it. It's really one of their zombies and zombies that steamed out. I'm really happy the Communist Party has today. The Communist Party, that's right, it's a tragic death for the Chinese people. What's wrong with an ant killing you if you die so tragically? Every Communist Party. Ah, he's so cruel. Especially in the past few years, I thought that the United States was going to be taken down and the whole world was theirs, so I didn't cover it up at all. I didn't know that there was you now, and you died today, and I knew that I was dead. It is impossible to return today. So if it's about the Chinese, the inner sea is the Chinese in this country, and the whole ordinary Chinese people all know that now the United States is destroying the Communist Party. Oh, that momentum will be even more incredibly powerful. Think about them doing evil for 100 years. 100 years of viciousness and shamelessness. Every Chinese hates Chinese in his bones. Chinese people and ordinary Chinese people. It can be said that there is no ordinary people who doesn't hate the Communist Party. They all hate Chinese people in their bones, and even people in the system hate them. Just waiting for this moment to materialize. I'm really sawing you off with my teeth. I'm saying I'm biting your necks off with my teeth. Yes, I let you perish. The Communist Party also has today, and there is also such a day. It makes you anxious like an ant on a hot briquette. If you have no power to parry, you will really become a paper tiger. That paper tiger, everything you say has become yourself, and the mafia is yourself.
That mafia is the largest mafia in the Communist Party of China, CPC as army. That paper tiger is not American imperialism, but itself. Ah, those hospitals that have built meal turning, those hospitals that have so many meal turning, and finally spent a long time locking up you communists who are communists and bandits. Oh, look at the United States, which is even more lucky now. Let me tell you, the whole world has to choose sides. Ah, this is what President Trump said. Countries can choose between us and China, so my evaluation is to go to war head on. Zhengxi is at war. Then you choose to be with the Chinese Communist Party. I won't negotiate with you in trade. If I strangle you to death, tariffs will strangle you to death. You are my enemy. What's wrong?
Now I'm telling you very clearly. Isn't it clear if I don't tell you clearly? It is to choose between us and China, and you choose each country yourself.
But I remember South Africa. South Africa should be South Africa. But it clearly stands with the Chinese Communist Party. So now you know that South Africa, the Chinese Communist Party, is also a country under the control of the Communist Party of China, and this is the same. This South African country controlled by dictatorship. Now I know that even South Africa and Spain are both firm and inappropriate, and I don't know whether they are firm and inappropriate. Anyway, that's what they say to stand with the Communist Party.
At present, I only know these two countries, and I don't know what else. Anyway, Vietnam is.
It is difficult for this delegation to negotiate tickets on the ground. Oh, there is also Singapore. Yes, Singapore stands with the Communist Party, so entering Singapore is a Communist Party worker in Singapore.
China's evil money laundering slope and Singapore are now more apparent.
Then these ghost towns of the Communist Party will show you its bubble economy. What is a ghost town? So what I show you is one of the ghost towns. In Aldous, Aldous was built during the so-called coal mining boom at a cost of $1,161,161 billion. A ghost town built for 1 million people, which is 90% empty at present. One of the ghost ships shows you too many all over China. This is the economy of the Communist Party, and this is its economy. Property selling economy. This economy that dug up the ancestral graves of the common people. This is another city called this ghost district of Kunming. It's the whole of China. It's such a track. This is Communist Party's economic model. Fake GDP from central properties and bubble markets. Central gas accounts for more than 80% of GDP. That is, its fake product, its source of GDP, its source of national production, these property markets, these bubble economies, these CCTVs, fake data. This is his economy. Do Chinese people still have confidence? Can you still maintain the stock market? Don't know the Communist Party yet. Now, this is a real dead ghost, a real poor ghost. A real poor ghost is that the Communist Party hollows out so much money every year, and the new debt added every year is 54 trillion yuan, which is called US dollars. Let this Chinese enterprise withdraw any overseas investment from you, and now this fund has to be withdrawn. Anyone's overseas investment funds have to be withdrawn. Saving the country means saving your Communist Party. What Zhuxiang is talking about is because the CCP's enterprises are the CCP, and its own central government is an enterprise, occupying more than 90% of China's resources in the entire CCP. More than 90% of the resources are the Communist Party of China, CPC, as central period, which is its own central flag. What is this central flag? Isn't it the Communist Party of China, CPC's own enterprise? Isn't it just a few major families? The 4 major families are basically divided into several areas. This resource of his family. So well, now it's hollowed out, and you have nothing left. If you squeeze the Chinese again, what oil can you squeeze out? Chinese people, all your bones have been blown up for so many years. What have they blown up? Then this. Destroy. How did you use the Soviet Communist Party in those days? This way destroyed it. It's not just me who said it's foxes now, but also this Otis. Remember how Reagan destroyed the Soviet Union? He began to defeat them with economic power and military opportunities. So President Trump had the opportunity to do the same thing in China. This is what everyone wants. It's no longer me who says it. It's no longer a little ordinary person like me. Let's talk about the small channel. Now, the big and big fox welfare in the United States is talking about it. President Reagan's method of dealing with the Communist Party is to draw his blood the same way, and his blood is gone. Suddenly, maybe I'm still talking and singing today, and I'll die tomorrow. Hey, this is what Mr. Lighthouse once said. Communist Party, don't look at his jumping plan. It may still be trembling there today. No matter how high you jump, you will die tomorrow. Suddenly, this is what Mr. Dong now said a few years ago. So can't you see it now? The money for your American International Development book is broken by chance. Now the percentage is more than 70%, these international funds. International aid funds have been cut off by the creator government. Oh, the Communist Party, you stole it outside and you can't steal this. How can you raise it? How about you, you thugs, Houthi armed forces? You're Pakistan, you're Iran. How about you? These underworld thugs. Ji Chang stated that only 10% of resources belong to the entire Chinese populace, feeding CCP hooligans. Hey, Ji Chang said that less than 10% of the resources are owned by the entire Chinese people, but for a few decades, this group, which accounts for less than 10% of China, has fed the huge hooligans of the entire CCP. It is these hooligan terrorist groups before. The central bank doesn't contribute a single cent. Like a pig's head, genuine excitement for China and Chinese people. It's as exciting as a pig's head. This is the real excitement. I just want to excite the real China and Chinese people. Do you understand? Outside the periphery, on the social media outside, almost all the clamoring Chinese people are members of the Communist Party of China. The voices of real Chinese people can't be heard outside. That is, overseas Chinese Communist Party members who are really clamoring on social platforms overseas. Ouch, this is the best of the best, the real best. This is it's dead. I didn't expect that what he wants to be or strictly audited is that he can be a member of the Chinese Communist Party to shout in foreign media. I don't know. No one didn't think of it. I didn't think of it. I didn't even think of it. I thought it was called Shao Scenic Spot outside. That is, it's probably all like this. If they control the show, they will be beaten by them. What happens in the future? I can only fold the kiln for 5 buckets of rice and survive. Of course, I always thought it was like this, but today's home opened my eyes. I really didn't expect that I was actually a member of the Chinese Communist Party. So for a while, I felt too tired to broadcast live. I really didn't want to broadcast this live. At that time, this Mr. Dama showed me this data of my channel and then told me, this. Almost everything outside is controlled by the Communist Party, of the Communist Party. I was shocked. It is on this sleeping platform that it is controlled by the Communist Party. I just know that. But this one is more exciting and makes me shocked to think about it. It's our little voice. Although it's been hard to talk about it over the years, I'm true about this. I've been disappointed and don't want to broadcast it live again. Yes. I think this will wake people up. Your original intention is really my original intention. You have always wanted to give it to Chinese people, especially Chinese mainland people who have climbed over the wall. Know a little sound, know some real information, real sound. This original intention has always been to be able to achieve a clear stream of Chinese people. I'm not breaking 5 buckets of rice. This is my original intention, and I've always wanted to release this real information. But it was true that I was quite disappointed for a while. I felt that this middleman was still quite numb, and there were not so many people. This and so many people still quite disappointed me, but it was indeed that one. I was disappointed for a while. But it was indeed Mr. Deng Dan. That information was shown to me. There was such a large amount of real information behind my live broadcast. It really made me summon up courage. I have persisted in Landier, so I have persisted until now. No matter how this oil pipeline in the Communist Party of China, CPC, is suppressed, it still allows me to persist until today. I really didn't expect this Communist Party to be so powerful. This also makes me this Earth. What is this name? It's really a big eye shock, and it makes me even more unexpected. They are all Communist Party members, but this Communist Party member, you are doomsday now, the doomsday of Suking Communist Party in the whole world. Look, it's coming very fast, so although we don't see it now, the Great Dispatch of Chinese students should put this. Visa is yours. Please unplug it. If you study abroad in China for 300,000 yuan, it should be 350,000 yuan. I originally saw it was 300,000 yuan, but then I saw it was 350,000 yuan. 350,000 yuan. All the visas of Chinese students studying in the United States have to be unplugged. So last Friday, I saw that some senior high school students have had this visa of 145 senior high school students. Although it's outside, we haven't seen that much yet. But it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It's all happening, including those that I think include. Professor, ouch, what's this called? This is called the American University colonized by the Chinese Communist Party, and this is the American University colonized by the Chinese Communist Party that was broken out by Americans. Chinese Communist Party colonized US universities. There is a report on the colonization of American universities by the Chinese Communist Party. So now, many professors and teachers have been caught and blocked. Wait a minute, I'll give you a meal to get it. As soon as you look at it, you can see a lot of things. Ouch, it seems that I can't release it here today. If you can't transfer it out, I'll let it out for you next time. Now you can't transfer it out today. That is now, this United States is being cleaned up. This professor of this university of the Chinese Communist Party in the United States, including students. That is to say, the Chinese Communist Party of the United States is colonizing American universities now. That is many of these Americans. That's right. This, what doctor of the Chinese Communist Party? Professor, after taking office in a university, he was recruited by Chinese scientists from the Chinese Communist Party, and these Chinese scientists recruited Chinese students. It's an immigrant of this scientific knowledge, and then what? To implement its cross-strait policy by meeting and cooperating with officials of Chinese Communist Party agencies to sign agreements. That is to say, how he colonized American universities. First of all, they came from China. After these people took up degree positions in universities, they would go to China to recruit Chinese scientists and overseas students. This scientific chain is like this. The immigration science chain has been pulled over. After it is pulled over, these people are actually cooperating with the officials and institutions of the Communist Party of China. So including a lot of famous schools, or this person from the Communist Party of China is a lot of Chinese speakers. He is under various names in the United States. after the major universities used this famous school in the United States to work in a famous school in the United States, the funds he received were researched. The person who has been doing this research for a long time is a person from the Communist Party of China, relevant to those engaged with the CCP's dinner bombs. These people who came to colonize American universities, this is the disaster you destroyed. Now it is being cleaned up. That's what you mean. Then I will release this picture for you next time. The Chinese mentioned by Zhuxiang, I heard that the United States repatriated all the overseas students studying in the United States. The Chinese cheered because the Chinese knew that these college students were the Communist Party of China, CPC, and were destroying the United States. All 350,000 international students will be repatriated. This is what I saw a long time ago, so it has been put on the agenda more and more. Because Chinese students are all controlled by the Communist Party of China, CPC, I only know now that you are here. When studying abroad, you have to talk to the Communist Party of China, the consulate, or the Chinese government. What agreements do you want to sign with the Chinese government? All international students and all overseas students must sign the guidance and jurisdiction that you are under the control of the Communist Party of China. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to study abroad. It seems that this is probably what we mean. This is actually what we mean. All international students, when you study abroad, you have to sign something with the Chinese government. If you can leave, you must promise to cooperate with the Communist Party of China, CPC. That's what the Chinese government means. Therefore, all Chinese students are controlled by China, and the Communist Party is in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. You are also helpless. In some China, the vast majority of Chinese students studying abroad are quite pitiful for you. Yes, this giant hero is that you say it more clearly, that is, unconditionally cooperate with the Communist Party of China, CPC. Gather intelligence. Do you hear that? That is, you unconditional all Chinese students must become his. Private property intelligence. All Chinese students, regardless, must serve as CCP spies. This thug, his intelligence gatherer, is a spy. Then all the Chinese pop students are pitiful. Many people, most of them have no choice but to do this. Non-compliance equals death. Then, including when he asks people to go popular, you have to go. If you don't listen, you have to cooperate with them unconditionally. Then, if it is this, terrifying abroad and within China, these students should return. The scariest, isn't it? In China, all over the world, all these overseas students all over the world should be sent back. Because you are cooperating with the Communist Party of China, CPC, to do bad things, destroy and embezzle the world. For everyone, I may think these things are called today's secrets. To you, I may say that you don't understand any kind of things, but for me, I think today is a shocking secret. His professors, recipients within universities, then including you, these professors and recipients in these universities, Now, I can feel that, for example, some people, a university professor, he got here. Well, this core place of some secrets, or me, for example, if I know one, I will go to one in England. What? Well, what kind of information? What kind of information is this BMW? What kind of information is the core and what material department? How is he with the Communist Party in China? Which car factory went to cooperate? He suddenly wants to be rich. What about his wife? She is studying this study. What kind of blood? Why is she suddenly connected with this one in China or Hangzhou? This one. Together. So now you suddenly understand, wow, those are all. You are all sent from abroad, so it's not a material. What's there? After working on special materials for a long time, you just stole technology and finally went back to cooperate with the Chinese Communist Party. Now I'm bored. So what Xu Shang said is that if you don't cooperate, it's all the overseas Chinese students sent by the Chinese Communist Party, not especially all the overseas Chinese students sent by the Chinese Communist Party from China. If you don't cooperate, you won't be allowed to leave China first. If the Chinese students who have already come out don't cooperate with the Chinese Communist Party, there will be many means to deal with them, including threatening their families in China and so on. More unconditional to cooperate with the Communist Party of China to gather intelligence. So be scary, be scary. Chinese people are really miserable. That is, a word of Chinese is really miserable. So don't you return to China at all for such international students? If all the money is returned to China, it will be safe after you return to China a little. If he can't control it, you can't get it. So you will all return to China. Returning to China becomes safer. Outside cooperation necessitates. Cooperate with the Communist Party, controlled anytime. You are under control at any time, and you have to sit on the mountains and sky at any time, including this time. Go, what did you say? Went to the first demonstration against Sichuan. So this American one suddenly became popular in the United States. I asked a Chinese student that you wore it against Sichuan. Why did you say Trump is a fascist? What exactly did he do was anti-fashion. And then he said that after asking for a long time, I couldn't explain clearly, and I didn't know that there was a note in his hand. He took out a note and said it, according to it, this international student, I couldn't say it. To be honest, they asked me to come, so I came, so this thing really made me see it. That's the information. The Communist Party asks you to go to a parade and asks you to go unconditionally. Then these demonstrations are against Sichuan. Why didn't you fall into them in the United States? You must have been repatriated. Then all.
If you don't say anything about your repatriation, you will still be recorded. Maybe you can never be in South America.
Now, these things might suddenly seem boring. So you're a doctor in an American university and research institution. What are you doing? You've been idle for millions of days. Now, you've taken American funds. Why did the American government give you research funds? No. Why do they essentially cooperate with the Democratic Party and the Communist Party? So these people, large-scale repatriation, large-scale things being done are coming to zero. What I want to say is that expatriates of the Chinese Communist Party steal valuable items. Nearly all of them are young women. At this point, the other side must be a man, and it must be suitable for open and affordable purposes, achieving bribery. So this has nothing to do with the Communist Party, and it has nothing to do with overseas. It's really called very few, so especially including those who joined the party when they were students. Almost all the people who come overseas are related to the Communist Party. Almost everyone who marries overseas has something to do with the Communist Party of China, CPC. Andy Lau, he wouldn't let you marry, now I understand. Without the consent of the party, without the consent of the Communist Party of China, he wouldn't let you marry. This consent means that you accept him at any time. Left and right united by him. This network is called 月亮是月神, which is almost entirely people overseas. It's all about the Chinese Communist Party. Otherwise, if the review department can't review it, he won't let you out if you're not one of his own. So sometimes, when we know that we are called the Golden Eagle and carved our chin for this, ha 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 ha, we really shocked our chin. Oh my God, it's so terrible. This is already me. I feel that people like me already know enough. But when you know it... To my surprise, as per Kasumi's account, nearly the entire crowd was there. Is it truly the case that all individuals happening to be overseas are affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party? What I'm trying to convey is that everything I've discussed regarding surveillance China is accurate. In reality, the situation is far grimmer than described. There's a deep-seated resentment towards this person. Humanity can't identify a more malevolent entity than the CCP. Known as a troll, it has proliferated reptiles and wickedness globally for an extensive period. It's called gathering demons. Whenever we converse, remember all Juxiu's remarks, including mine and those concerning me, regardless. When discussing real matters, it's akin to one hair among 9 cows or 2 axes. Back then, there were 20 cows, and I consistently mentioned one hair from them. Our discussions only skim the surface, a mere pawn, and they assert that we're speaking of poisoning. The poison, what we were talking about at that moment. There are over a dozen varieties of poison in the water and more than 20 types in the air. I still tell you that it's still up to now. So far, I tell you that what we call reading is still just clicking. Anything we deem evil, anything buried, is merely a point. You will be even more stunned. How terrifying are you? Everyone is controlled in this way, called everyone. So let me pull up this picture and these pictures again. As I said, everyone in this picture is evil to themselves. Twisted evil to oneself, extreme perversion. Look at the man named American Country Balao. He is a senior official of the Chinese Communist Party. This old string is also an old countryman, and all Americans are hillbillies. Isn't he really referring to founding the president? This is called Shangguava. In their eyes, it is Shangguava, let alone you Chinese slaves. This President Trump announced that today, April 19th, 2025, is a memorial day to commemorate the outbreak of the American Revolutionary War in Lexington and The 250th anniversary of the Battle of Concord. So the Americans say, it reminds me of the day 77 militiamen rose up against the British. Coming here signifies history holding significant meaning. It's interesting and feels more meaningful. Why did President Trump choose today as the anniversary? All of Britain has turned into a heavily fortified, depraved fortress against anti-Americanism. Become a solid fortress under the iron embankment of the Communist Party. Every evil person has their own thing. All evil Britain now. It is a 12-year-old child who published this dissatisfaction on Facebook, a social platform, and published this dissatisfaction with the rape group and was arrested. A 12-year-old parent published this dissatisfaction with the school. They were also arrested. Not only were 2 parents not arrested, but their 7-year-old children were also arrested. Have you seen the joint actions of the Communist Party? It's an age when one person breaks the law and pockets a family. This is the foundation of the Communist Party. This Communist Party. Nothing is being done and is now being spread in the whole global world of this world. Evil is spreading to the extreme. Now in England, you have to go to a football match. Now it's all face recognition. You don't have to buy tickets, but you have to use face recognition. So this is the virus of the Communist Party virus, Communist Party virus. Throughout the world is spreading deeply. This virus is spreading deeply. This spread is deeply rooted in countries all over the world. And cooperating with this CCP. A network army throughout the world. The network army in the whole world is this. Communist Party members are deeply rooted in any corner of the world. That is, in any corner, you must cooperate with the Communist Party unconditionally and sit idly by and watch these armies. You said. Whether it's miserable or not, you completely become a cooperator with the Chinese Communist Party of China, CPC. If you escape, these people will become the network army he cooperates with, his intelligence network army. After they become spies, everyone has to be censored first. In all countries around the world, first examine whether you are a communist. If you see Chinese people, you must first examine whether you are a communist. If you're part of the communist regime, you can enforce measures with the severity akin to Nazis rounding up members in historical times. Consequently, the Chinese remain the largest casualties. In the wake of this disaster and the global calamity, the Communist Party must be dismantled. All cleaned up. So it's produced in Chinese. Get out these people. While he remains powerless in numerous aspects, it's truly the Chinese who successfully defeated the fleeing Communist Party. Collectively, we marked ourselves as those who truly distanced from his ancestral lineage. Just like us, Mr. Giant Tower and his entire team showcased their prowess. Indeed, dispatching these top executives epitomizes high leadership. This represents the utmost evil within the CPC's central governing body. If you are a good politician in the Chinese Communist Party, you will definitely not be used. Only you, a traitor, can use the Communist Party of China, CPC. What's it used? What's it used? The more evil this person is, the less likely he will be reused at the top of the Chinese Communist Party. That must be a super, super evil picture. In the words of the Chinese Communist Party, it is a dragon and a phoenix among their people. This signifies the pinnacle of leadership within the CPC's central governing body. How could you possibly be so utterly shameless to yourself? How deeply steeped in shamelessness will you be? The Communist Party reutilizes individuals, thus those integrated into the party must embody shamelessness, especially the ones within the higher echelon like the Central Committee. Regardless of how hard he tries to project kindness or benevolence, it's all just sheer and absolute shamelessness. Therefore, at any level in the Communist Party of China, CPC, no matter which one you are on or online, there is no one on the rostrum. There is no one who is not evil, and no one who is not installed and used by others is profoundly malicious, utterly devoid of shame, completely shameless. This is undoubtedly the case. Machines are not human beings, but they are extremely desirable to raise their faces or anything. The worse it is, the uglier it is, the worse it is, the more shameless it is. That's their people. Otherwise, oh yes, a while ago, I saw that our 2 reporters didn't report for duty, and at the same time, I missed one. I remember. He also mentioned the infiltration of the Chinese Communist Party. You didn't notice that suddenly a lot of massage parlors are right. This is also this, and this is also mentioned by those 2 reporters. Suddenly, many massage parlors appeared, and suddenly, many massage parlors in the whole world, including large-scale massage parlors in the United States, were all laundering money and doing bad things. This nest, I suddenly thought that the original pig's hand and the salty pig's hand also came out of the massage parlor, although I thought that because of my sudden, why did they suddenly get all the people from those massage parlors in Guangdong to the United States? Suddenly, it seems as though you weren't just cleansed, but also, right from the inception of this foundation to assuming this role, they employ these women. Utterly shameless, profoundly malevolent, and remarkably unrestrained. Now, let me share 2 illustrations with you. This idea just struck me suddenly. It's all won by Mango. Those who have worked as chickens and came out of massage parlors have criminal records, and they are extremely shameless and stupid. They are also very easy to control. Oh, that's what he likes to use. Looking back and thinking about it now, all this is more gentle, and I understand the Communist Party. It's simply shattered. Observe this, precisely this. It might resemble something he could dispatch or retain. He just completed a segment. This individual is regarded as the supreme leader embodying sheer sinister qualities. The United States is repatriating on a large scale, and it is impossible to leave you there. It is impossible to stop. Going ahead of this footstep is even larger on a large scale. Hey, look at the mass repatriation unleashed by President Trump.
Just a follow-up question on a clarification. You meant that you're open to deporting individuals that aren't foreign aliens for our criminals to El Salvador. Does that include potentially US citizens, fully natural?
If they're criminals and if they hit people with baseball bats over their head that happen to be 90 years old, and if they rape 87-year-old women in Coney Island, Brooklyn are included. What do you think? We have bad ones too, and I'm all for it because we can do things with the president for less money and have great security. And we have a huge prison population. We have a huge number of prisons, and then we have the private prisons, and some are operated well, I guess, and some aren't, but he does a great job with that. We have others who are negotiating with but no, if it's a home criminal, I have no problem. Now we're studying the laws right now. Pam is studying.
Yes, this is a gang prison with tens of thousands of degrees, and this pure president was released again today. I don't know what the problem was with what I released just now, but then it was all about it. This was not released, so it was stocked, frozen, or not completely released. President Trump launched it again today, so it means that the massive repatriation of these most heinous gangs will not listen to them. Su King's arrest and repatriation will not cease, so this continues. We used to say that Americans, including Americans, will also send Americans to visit. Many people don't believe it, so I'll show you this paragraph. President Trump confirms that what we say about Americans is accurate. You didn't think of it, did you? There are also very heinous crimes in the United States. They say so because they are asking if they will help American citizens move to Sado. Gulag concentration camp, Gulag prison is the most severe underworld prison in the world. To be serious, I want to go further. I said to Pal, I don't know what the law is. We always want to abide by the law, but we also have some local criminals who push people into the subway. Including raping the 87-year-old. I want to include them in the team that was deported before the shallow crew leaves the country, and confirm what we said about thousands of Americans to President Chuan. What's wrong with you being American? The same as you, as long as this method commits crimes and the same repatriation. Look at the United States. This 9/11 in the United States is also confirming what we said before. Well, this, especially a few years ago, Mr. Danta and the drama hero mentioned the truth of the 9 things.
Is going to be the biggest scandal in our lifetime and beyond. Yes, I think it's going to be the biggest scandal in history of America because IT occurred on U.S. soil and because IT is so recent that we have relevant information still available. That's right, we have recorded information. We have personal information once people realize they can talk. And you know what annoys me is reporters who call people conspiracy theorists. The agency creates the conspiracies. I know they train agents on making people look like conspiracy theorists.
The propaganda operations designed to discredit.
Exactly right. And all we want to be the truth, of course. So Trump appoint people of impeccable integrity. Let them study the facts. I will testify under oath. Everything I know about intelligence, let these 3,000 architects who are risking their careers making nothing, let them testify under oath. There has been this subtle pressure to the firefighters and to the officers not to talk for obvious reasons. You know what this involves politically, and look what happened to the chief of LA. The female chief of LA comes out and says that the resources were taken away from her for the fuel forest fires. And what does the mayor do? She fires her. That was just a few weeks ago. The firefighters are always a scapegoat. That's why, Tucker, I'm done with this. It was the last thing I do. Firefighters are not going to be taken for granted anymore. We're going to rise up. We're going to shake the country to its roots. Firefighters are not second-class citizens.
Well, they are certainly.
They shouldn't be, but if they talk, they'll be sidelined. They'll be called crazies despite hearing explosions. Be allowed to say,
They heard explosions.
absolutely, it's on tape. We have people coming out of the buildings that heard explosions. We have film footage of people that talked to Fox News that was taken off the air, and now IT was brought back by X. That's all available. That's why you need a commission to go back and look at.
All the way, so there are, and pardon my ignorance.
Okay, if such a channel has been launched, and this rebound is proof of what Congressman Kurt, this Verdun said many years ago. That was 5 or 6 years ago. 5 years ago, this Mr. Danta has all mentioned the truth of the 9 Mom. What we're talking about, these truths are constantly being faced squarely by the president, members of Congress, and this dignitary of various countries. This is the biggest scandal in American history. Well, this congressman can't help it anymore. He really can't help it. He is really from the inside. The account also confirmed that what our Mr. Lighthouse and Jisha said and mentioned was an internal explosion, and 3 buildings seem to have been programmed. This collapsed not 2, but 3. Although no plane crashed into Building 7, no one can explain how it collapsed. But now I'm telling you. They want to testify, he wants to testify, he has all kinds of testimony, but he is just not allowed to testify. CIA, Mossad, MI6, this is what they think, blew up Building 1, Building 2, and Building 7 of the World Trade Center, so it's running behind it. Does it have nothing to do with the Communist Party? What if the Communist Party of China is behind it again? What they said was, so as this waged war on the Middle East and passed the Patriot Act on the holidays, at the same time, it also won the $1 billion for the family of this screw factory and the Silforth family, Hilferstein family. Old Bosch got involved from time to time. Innocent civilians were killed in the war between Iraq and Afu. Before 500 American soldiers, it wasn't suitable for CIA as they knew bin Laden was in Iran, injuring over 3,000 Americans and 300 firefighters. It's treason massacre. These actions have destroyed millions of innocent lives globally, including in Sapporo. These 9 things should be the reason why this is the most important core reason exploding back. As this American congressman, I don't know that he didn't mention it, and I don't know if I don't know that he didn't mention it, but that's the core reason. We, Mr. Debutante and Goose family, originally mentioned it. It should be that Mr. Debutante mentioned the Q system. I think I saw it somewhere, I didn't take down that video, but I forgot to drop it. This was a while ago. Musk mentioned it. It has also been mentioned that when you click on the 91 pressure, the most important thing he fears is the Q system. Because the client system is on this upstairs and on this top floor, it blows back to this Q system. However, Kauzafi mentioned Gaddafi above. Why did he want to kill Gaddafi? Because Kauzafi said it at that time. The most important thing is that he mentioned that this 9/11 was not done outside, but inside the United States. Where did the American plane take off? He also mentioned it all. Then it's also false to go to Gaddafi at the same time because he wants to get the gold standard. This one is disobedient to seize his oil, but maybe Kauzafi is still alive.
This world is so strange. People who have been alive all the time have died long ago. These clone people, dummies, and people who have been shown to you with all kinds of this have died long ago. But the actual dead people keep saying that the dead people suddenly come back to life. According to not dead at all. I'm unsure, but all these things are reaffirming to us that this channel has delivered genuine information over time. After talking to Mr. Gu's family, what they said, when did they talk about these things? What they mentioned is still very, very simple little bit. The Communist Party's huge film project. It enslaves the young members of human society. To plug this America under the iron ladder and destroy the whole mankind, only the one-party dictatorship of the Communist Party will be left. This polymagic. Everything in the end. It's all the Chinese Communist Party. Everything in the world is besieged. What I observe is the United States' current actions, and what I notice now is the continuous prevention of evil deeds by the Communist Party. On the surface, it is evident that collusion exists between the Communist Party and the entire world. You are. Do you choose to side with the demon Communist Party or align with the United States? Just 2 days ago, including events at the White House. This American White House, located in Washington, D.C., conveys to you an earth-shattering message, so let me listen to it.
Focus and vision systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along, but we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit US to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated.
Announcing news of this magnitude, I can't help but feel thrilled. We should be informed of the details gradually. Allow me to inform you, the United States has the potential to rise significantly. Mastering time and space is manipulating time and space. What kind of tumultuous wave is this, and what kind of wave leaves you astounded? What kind of secret weapon is it? Our advanced technology allows us to harness time and space. Nikola Tesla, how did you bring this up back then? I recall you can't. He is connected to President Tsai and this uncle, so I won't delve into it now. This John Chuang is relevant. Yes, I am unsure about this. Now the White House has disclosed it to you. This can be managed. Time and space. Time and space, then. What we seek to understand now is the space-time gate. Originally, we knew that this space-time gate interacts with the space-loss gate. You can reach another dimension, then an alien realm. The United States has long controlled this kind of technology. Which ones did you envisage? Where do you wish to venture upon accessing this space-time gate? Where can you enter the space-time gate? Then the US directly controls the space-time gate. This implies that you can traverse to the alien dimension at any place and time. Anytime, anywhere. All technology in the United States recently mentioned by President Tsai would frighten the world. The world listened, but not to the supposed doorway. How many major war zones does the Demon Communist Party have? I recall 3 major war zones in this market, or are there more? Weapons and ammunition buckles, weapons and ammunition depots are all empty. What do you use to fight? You don't even understand the time and space gate. Don't explain it clearly. You don't understand what you are using to fight. This American America. How many secret weapons are there? Even you, this. What height has someone's secret weapon reached that it won't leak? Which communist party? This communist bandit has a little bit of this, break this. Tractor-like aircraft carrier, and there are still people clamoring to take it. Go match a pair of this and this what? Taiwan province? You still have to shout for such a magic tribute as this township old man? What are you shouting for? Open the station directly. The mafia of American imperialism, we will shoot you directly and open the account directly. What are you clamoring for? So, what is a barking dog after all? He always barks when he's afraid. Oops, including our dog, let alone who, what about our demu? Generally speaking, it's never called. The neighbor's dog doesn't stop barking, and when the puppy outside sees it, it keeps barking. Why is it afraid? Is the Demon Communist Party afraid? US military, it is said that what kind of fighter plane is this? The US military has an estimated 10,000 fighter jets. Not to mention those secret weapons. Even if you are the current Bill bomber, you are not the most advanced in the US military.
Hiroshima indeed. This bomb is a modernized version of the Cold War B-61 series, except this time it's packing up to 360 kilotons of explosive force that's 24 times more destructive than the 15 kiloton bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. The goal to give the US military more flexibility in targeting hardened underground facilities, especially as geopolitical threats intensify. According to US scientists and military officials, the weapon is being fast-tracked because of the global situation is more dangerous now than during the Cold War. With weapons like the B-61 being built today, one thing is clear, the nuclear arms race is not just history, it's happening again.
Just now. It is the B-61E3 nuclear bomb launched by the United States. It's more dangerous now than it was during the Cold War, so I'll show you the nuclear bomb. It's 24 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. This thing is also called a small dish, so it is called a small case. Even if it's not necessary, the bomber ghost is extremely powerful in the whole world now, and it's still a little bit of a side dish. Yeah. A video released by Air Force General David Alvin shows the two components of the US Air Force and the 3-in-1, including the land-based missile ballistic missile and the long-range strategic bomb. And there is also an article with it saying that if the microshot fails, we won't fail. This US military, the whole world, what will you do with this Communist Party? And what will you do with the US military? Even if Russia is so powerful it dares not provoke the United States, so you are the one who provokes it. You jump again. Jump hard. The higher you jump, the better. Now you wonder if you can feel this demon communist jump at this time. Does it look like Harris's chicken woman's jump at that time? Bark. How can I sign this song and this bottom determine everyone's fate? How incredibly powerful am I? My feeling is that the Communist Party's dancing method is just the same as that of the inner chicken. Nor do you leap high. I'll let you jump. How can you die if you don't tell me? It can let the whole world see clearly what the bloody Communist Party of China is. How can the Communist Party of China run away from you, the roots of a full generation, and it can take away your vests, your generations, how you concealed and hid them all. You will clean it up for you quickly and completely. It's the United States that fought one. Let the Communist Party never reverse its fortune. Great War. The end of the Communist Party, your ancestors have lost this time for generations. So how can the US military suddenly tell you about space-time energy now? You hear the so-called unheard of. The only space force in the world is the US military, only the United States. Not to mention that US troops are in more than 300 countries all over the world. Ouch! More than 300 bases are all over the world. His army, the army you know now, may be less than 1/10,000 of his army strength. As long as his tank needs a tank, he can make a tank in one day. Devil, you can clearly imagine. The US military's forces all over the world, as well as this BR bomber, are already at the top of the scheduled aircraft, which is called invisibility, and the current kiln of the US military. This is remote, and remote will blow you away. It doesn't even require your aircraft carrier to reach anywhere, but it must reach your range as far as possible. Thus, I'll eliminate you. So this devil. The most important thing was how to completely expose him and let the entire world remember what a demon was. What is a devil like the Communist Party of China, CPC? Slowly, he revealed his tendons, his network, and everything about him to the heavenly eye. Can he not die? Take a look at the rhythm now. Can he survive internal and external problems? No matter how big your bloody enemy is, the devil is still in our generation, and our generation can witness it. Are you witnessing your Daoji now? You will die happily and fall into the water. Ouch! Is this called enjoyable? We can watch helplessly how the devil burns you completely in the fire. Oh, this time. This is so beautiful. This space is so beautiful. Especially in this era when divinity is returning now. The real is wishing, and everyone wishing everyone to have this. Good fortune can witness the extinction of the devil. In this great era, the return of divinity we see today, and all countries in the world are celebrating the return of Jesus Christ. From the United States, including Vance, I also arrived in Italy yesterday. It's really touching. The celebration of lower fashion will begin in a few moments. Let us accompany the end phones of the procession in complete silence.
The staff on Commit Cider LSC de la Mila Pasilo deals are a severe lingrada de la Fosio in absoluto Salesi.
This is this Vice President Vance of the United States. He is a Catholic. He attended the service yesterday and Good Friday in Port Vanti with his family. It was quite touching to watch. He arrived in Italy today with the Prime Minister of Italy. This Prime Minister, I was quite moved when I heard him say this when I met.
Unity America trade events present a one program. Jonathan Diere, multi temi deudo and Canela Jonathan Diogi, ma sicurament Italy spoke about unity with great emphasis and perseverance. Consequently, the termination RAF remains available for purchase. Estremamente importante. It was let known that America is needed to a great degree due to rapport, privilege, autocranoy, and the quintessential quality of Adamo Torza.
Great. Well, thank you, Prime Minister Maloney. It's wonderful to see you again. I appreciate our friendship both between our countries, but also between U.S. personally, and certainly the President sends his best regards to you. But to the people of Italy, this is us as a place that was built by people that love people and love God, and the streets, the buildings, the beautiful landscape. I think IT really lifts up the human spirit, so we are going to have some good conversations, but I also take some inspiration from being in this beautiful city filled with wonderful people, and so we are grateful to you, and of course to the people of Rome, the people of Italy, for their friendship, and also for their warm welcome. Most of all, just thrilled to be in the presence of a dear friend and a beautiful place with great people, so thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
The Italy mentioned by Vice President Juan would like to thank Italy for its hospitality and welcoming him. His enthusiasm for the Italian people is infected by his enthusiasm for mankind and God. So, I just think this is very simple, but it is a very simple human touch. In this, the European continent was engulfed wholly by locusts, while the formidable devil of communism took hold, casting a shadow over everything. President Juan, alongside the Vice President, representing the Z family, attended this event with their 2 children in tow, with a sense of urgency and tradition. So you said you could not drive people away? Very simple, but sincere, and sincere represents this. Presently, as shared with our children today, it is the Christians that stand as saviors of the world, urging this recollection. Christians. These Christian pictures of the whole world are all in. Tutulu shed his precious blood, marking this as the 3rd significant act to rescue humanity. Look at them. A monk wears a mouth to fight. It is the most depraved place to go through the most difficult step of mankind. Italy has performed the best in Europe this time. His Prime Minister this. Maloney also came to this United States escaped from the European Union, regardless of this suppression of all. Upon arrival in the United States, discussions were held with President Chen, where he proposed collaborative efforts between our 2 nations to reinvigorate Europe's strength.
My aspiration is to achieve greatness once more, and I believe that together we can accomplish this goal. And we will keep on work on that. I'm going to close. I want to say only I'm proud of sitting here as Prime Minister of Italy.
The most perilous challenges follow in succession, and they are relentless. In the last journey of the most crisis, every country's entry into the city may accelerate or slow down the entire process of human liberation. In Europe, it is a real drag on people. The entire process of human beings is Britain, and Britain is completely depraved. But I saw Italy, and I saw that the French people were constantly fighting. This encompasses the widespread affection and love from the populace.
This strong fighting resistance is very ancient and inspiring. So what we see now is that at least Britain saw thousands of Christians showing the Spirit of Christ here yesterday, and there is still a little comfort.
Young teacher, which huge number of followers were increasing day by day. His name was Jesus Christ. And I wrote a book about him. My name is John. And when I was a younger man, Jesus called me to join him at the start of his mission. And I became his disciple. And I am his disciple still. For 3 years, I traveled with Jesus and his followers through towns and countryside. Jesus preached, told stories, cured the sick, healed the blind, crippled, broken-hearted, and everyone he met. Crowds surrounded him everywhere. He was the Messiah. Make way.
Celebrating Passover?
The Passover, it's a happy and a joyous time when...
It's Pigeon Square in the center of this Pigeon Square in London. Thousands of people came to watch the crucifixion of Jesus, which is the crucifixion of God they are showing. It is said that there has never been such a journey in London. I have never seen this British Christian in England, so I have seen the desire of divinity for divinity now, so there is some comfort for the whole world. What this one sees is every country, these of the divinity. Restore, showing some different splendor. In a moment, we will withdraw some different things from various countries and show you. This is a significant piece by Florence Lorenza. Let's check it out. Christians are under such heavy darkness. Ran. This Christian spirit found in war criminals, especially in Britain, is exemplified by a priest who prays fervently. Anyone praying in the streets will be arrested, yet thousands of Christians still venture into the city center. It's a little comforting to celebrate. What I just showed you is this traditional performance of this 900-year-old Easter in Florence, Italy. This service. People light a carriage full of fireworks outside this Florence cathedral. If it is successful and can be lit, it symbolizes this. Harvest and social stability, so it was very successful. This year is getting better and better, especially in Italy. Now this one in Italy has become very... It is the most powerful and energetic in Europe. I didn't expect it to be such a woman. Italy is now being pushed towards a higher and better direction. Well, what really makes the whole world see hope
makes the whole Europe strong again, and makes the whole world beautiful again is.
The divinity returns to White House.
What really occupies the divinity of Jesus returns to the White House, our America. This room in the White House was crowded with staff praying for wonderful grace yesterday morning. This is the beauty felt by the whole world when the real president brought Jesus Christ back to the White House.
The return of divinity. The resurrection of humanity. Take a look at the fact that we are confused. The Satan of the whole world pervades this darkness of the whole world and is now showing the legacy of the return of divinity, so everyone can be resurrected. As long as you are willing to open your portal yourself. They can all return, they can all be resurrected.
Let us congratulate this Easter tomorrow on being happy and hope that everyone can be resurrected. Ignite the divinity in your heart. Open this door in your heart and thank us for this holiest and most sacred day of grace, which has accompanied us through this life. The most precious layer in human history, so much truth, so much sunshine. Spread. Our whole world ignites all our predestined people. In this final process, we can open up your divinity, ignite your sexual view, and truly liberate ourselves. Our road is not too long, and the road of darkness is not too long. We are all walking to this road. It is the road to liberate us human beings and destroy this most ferocious devil. This plan is, but we. All the roads, everyone's own road, have to come out by himself. Thank you, residents. Happy Easter. Everyone's Easter is our real year. It's time to celebrate this festival because it's been dark for too long. Let's all celebrate this beauty.
See you next time, live broadcast. Maybe next time it will go to our Voice of Phoenix. Please pay attention to whether it is Voice of Phoenix or a sub-negative channel. Everyone, please pay attention to this, and we will thank our Jishao next time. Let us really be the most bitter manpower. This group of Chinese is also the happiest. The sunshine seen by this group of Chinese sees hope, and we are moving towards.
It's not easy for everyone like this baby who was born to get this sweet sunshine.
Thank you for your company. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.